full service. We're a full service travel agency under the we're partnered with KHM Travel Group. That is a company that offers us hundreds of suppliers.
Preferred suppliers. Their main office is in Chicago and in Cleveland. They're one of the largest travel suppliers in the country.
And so we have a few highlights I was going to move through here quickly as far as the trip goes, and then we'll get into greater detail of what it includes in just a minute.
Okay, the first slide we have here is from about the Cliffs of Moher. These extend for 5 miles, rising 690 feet above the ocean. There is also a wonderful visitor center there and several well-worn paths along the cliffs.
And the trip also includes a visit to St. Patrick's Cathedral and, of course, the world famous Blarney Stone, where you have to actually lean upside down to get the ticket, but that's the tradition.
Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit closer to the microphone. Hopefully you guys can hear me a little better. This is a picture of the Antrim coast in Northern Ireland. This is obviously a wonderful picture, but it's second only to the Dingle Peninsula and the giant causeway as being very inspirational.
That's right. And it's not just about the scenery in Ireland. There's also a long history in art history. Somebody said my favorite place. Look at that. I love Dingle. Oh, it is gorgeous. I know. But anyway, part of this trip is also to get the culture and to really connect with the people that actually live there. And so you'll get a chance to go to the House of Waterford Crystal for a private tour, guided tour, and also to the Avoca Handweaving Mill, which is Ireland's oldest working handweaving mill.
This is also a great place to get some souvenirs. We'll also have a chance to go down the street to the Guinness Storehouse. This is in Dublin. And also that day, we're going to take a tour of the largest Titanic exhibit.
That's an option, but yes, isn't that cool? It's right up the road in Belfast. So now we want to show you the base of this 9-day trip. As we said, it's a 9-day trip. You see pretty much every inch of the coastline of the Emerald Isle. From this trip is August 4th through the 12th, and we're going to go through some of the details about it. We know what you want to know is how much.
Right, exactly. We're just going to tell you the details off the bat. This trip, as right now, you all are experienced travelers, you know that some things can go up and down. But right now it's $2,500 per person. That includes guaranteed airfare from Raleigh, which we hope will be nonstop. The price now is based on double occupancy. We did ask Globus about whether a triple occupancy was available. They said it was in certain locations, but the price really wasn't any different.
No, there's no price.
Of course, things can change up until booking, especially as we get closer and closer to August. We are in the early bird saver timeline right now. That ends October 27th. So if you want to take advantage of that, that's the deposit is required by then.
I wanted to go over quickly what's included in that price besides what we said of the airfare, the guaranteed airfare and accommodation. That also includes a full Irish breakfast daily. That includes 3-course dinners with your choice of menus. You will have a professional tour director with you the entire tour, all 9 days, and that, of course, is a local. We'll talk more about the tour guides and the company in a minute. That also includes a guided tour of the House of Waterford Crystal and a tour of the Avoca Handweaving Mill.
So why travel with a group? We formed this club because we wanted to offer some advantages to people that travel with a group. And here are some things. It's safer. It's actually more fun. You get to meet some very interesting people that you not only get to talk to and meet on the trip, but also when you get back and before you leave. There's some groups of people that have been traveling together with for years. I guess one of the biggest things for people, especially for people who may not be seasoned travelers, is that Globus and we take pretty much care of all the details for you. You just show up with your passport at the airport. And obviously, group travel rates, almost all companies offer some pretty substantial discounts for group travel rates. And you'll save time and energy and frustration. Once again, show up at the airport.
There you go. Well, now we're going to go through the day by day, the itinerary in the more detail. By the way, I want to answer Cheryl. I wanted to say something about being a single and on the trip. Because this price is based on double occupancy, I was uh, not surprised to hear that you were probably going to ask the question, so what if I'm a single? Well, that's a very good question. The answer is there is a single room supplement, which is $384. So that was all that you would have to pay additionally to be traveling with your own room and not a double occupancy. So now let's go through the itinerary day to day. I want to tell you, you arrive in Dublin on the first day. You check into the Regency Hotel, which is where you stay the first night. At 3 o'clock, you're going to meet your tour guide, and you're going to go on an orientation drive down O'Connell Street and stop at St. Patrick's Cathedral. At the end of the day, there's an option for an Irish cabaret evening, um, but it should be a lovely day.
Day two, we travel by a luxury motor coach north towards the Boyne Valley. This place is known for its prehistoric graves. You cross the border into Northern Ireland. You drive past the mountains of Mourne to Downpatrick. This is where, the name would tell you that this is where the St. Patrick is buried. And finally on to the vibrant city of Belfast, where the Titanic is set.
We'll stay that night at the Jury's Inn in Belfast, and which is just blocks away. I found this really cool pub that I think y'all will enjoy. It's called Robinson's. Robinson's Bar. It's one of Belfast's longest established bars and provides great choice for your night out with 4 venues under one roof. Grab a pint, pull up a stool, sit by the open fire, and enjoy tunes of traditional musicians every night of the week. So it doesn't matter what night you're there, they're going to have some music for you.
Okay, and the third day, this is when we get to go see Giant's Causeway.
Look at that, by the way, Anne. You actually walked across that bridge. How about that?
That is great. Giant's Causeway is an area of 40,000 interlocking basalt columns. This is the result of an ancient volcanic eruption.
Look at that. You can actually see, walk and touch them and take pictures. And
absolutely.
We'll travel through the city of Derry on to Donegal and Donegal Bay. It's an ancient town founded by Danish Vikings and the home of the O'Donnell clan. And so you drive along the bay with its small fishing ports and hidden beaches before arriving for that night in Sligo. And we'll stay that night at the Great Southern Hotel.
Okay, day 4. We are headed south to the village of Knock. And then we go to Galway. Galway is a popular seaside town with colorful shops and busy cafes. We cross the limestone plateau of the Burin to visit the spectacular cliffs of Moher. You also have the option to attend a medieval banquet that night at Bunratty Castle.
The next morning, starting the city of Limerick, we'll head to Adare at Killirglin. Yes, we did pronounce Killirglin. We practiced that. Join the road known as the Ring of Kerry. This is a 100-mile coastal panoramic drive with spectacular views of the lakes of Killarney and from Ladies View. And the next 2 nights are going to be spent in the popular resort town of Killarney. Right there, you'll see in the picture as the Killarney Court Hotel.
Okay, the next day we get to go to Dingle Peninsula. This is also where you get to see the Blasket Islands and hear about the way of life and unique literary achievements of people who lived there. Unfortunately, they had to leave in 1953 as a part of an evacuation. We come back to Killarney. A special optional adventure is that you get to take a horse-drawn, it's called a horse-drawn jaunting car along the National Park Lake Shore for pictures of Ross Castle. Isn't that neat? That's great. And tonight, there's an optional outing for dinner and performance at the Shinsu Hire, Ireland's National Folk Theatre. Look how nice that is. Okay, Carol, why am I thinking about you right now?
We know why. On day 7, you'll have the opportunity to skip the line. We love that part. To go to the Blarney Stone and kiss the Blarney Stone. It's time at your leisure to see the castle and shop for Irish crafts and handmade crystals. Blarney is not just famous for the stone, but also for its wool. This, by the way, is a great place to pick up some gifts for your families and friends that are stuck back in the States. And after lunch, you're going to, oh, here's, by the way, some things you can look at that. How beautiful is that? I like that sweater.
I want the hair that doesn't have any gray in it.
After lunch, we're going to go through the town of Cork, the country's second largest city, on the way to Waterford for a guided tour of the House of Waterford Crystal. Spend the night at the nearby seaside resort. Hold on, I want to show you a couple more pictures of the Waterford Crystal. That is spectacular. Let's just actually watch them make it. Look at that artisan. Amazing castle. So
that's wonderful.
Yeah, there we go. So then we're going to spend that night in the seaside resort of Cremor. And we'll be staying at the Majestic Hotel.
Okay, on day 8, we head towards the Wicklow Mountains. This is where you get to visit Ireland's oldest hand weaving mill that we were talking about earlier. At Avoca, you also see Glendalough with its ruins. This is actually a center of Irish Christianity, founded by Saint Kevin.
And your journey ends back in Dublin. You can go an optional visit to the Guinness Storehouse, which, by the way, they built the Guinness Storehouse as a large.
So it looks like
a large pint.
The building looks like a pint,
right? And you'll stay that night at the Jury's Inn in your last night. And that's pictures of the hotel. So we want to get back to, again, this is the map that we just showed you, the detailed day-to-day. You can see starting and ending in Dublin for the 9 days. And
by the time you have finished this trip, you will have seen just about every inch of Ireland's coastline.
Very true. Well, I'd like to talk about the company that we have chosen for this trip. And this is Globus.
Globus International is one of KHM's preferred provider. We have worked with them several times. They actually have a fantastic quality assurance rating of 98%, which is pretty amazing. But again, the benefits of Globus, they've been around for about 100 years. So it's easy to have a hassle-free vacation. Time is very important on vacation, as you know. And so with them doing the driving and we enjoying our vacation and not worrying about trying to get the place you can make the most of your vacation time and money.
And I will say they are strict about their timing.
Yeah.
Because you want to see every inch. The tour directors are locals with an average, which I think is incredible, an average of 23 years experience.
Well, these people are professionals. This is, I don't think this is necessarily the same in this country, but they take pride in the fact that they're professional.
And it's multi-generational.
Yeah, it's a hard job to get, but they know their stuff.
And there's, of course, the hotels on this trip are first class and above. And you get VIP access, as we talked about, to the major sites.
Yes, Globus calls them happy lines. Basically, people are happy because you go to the front of the line.
You get guaranteed air pricing, as we discussed before. You have an option of travel protection. You have engaging travel experiences. Again, they try to get you really right into the true life of the folks that live there. And as Anne said earlier, they have a 98% customer satisfaction rating.
They've been around for a long time, 85+ years. They're definitely, and the coaches that we travel on, which do have free Wi-Fi, which we encourage you to upload pictures to our website. But they are never older than 3 years. These are truly luxurious. And if you have traveled with even a more discount that you can add on top of the group.
And I'm going to ask you just to give us a few minutes. This is a 6-minute video of a couple of sisters that have taken this exact trip.
My name is Megan. I'm Kate. This is Kate. We're sisters. We can't tell. We look like sisters. But we've always talked about getting together just as sisters, and we've had lots of talks about where do we go. Yeah, she says Vegas. I said no. Us being largely Irish in our heritage, Ireland came up. Yeah, Megan said, well, maybe we should check out a tour because then we don't have to spend all the time planning. And I thought, no, tours aren't for me. I don't want to be on the same bus with the same group of people for a week. And I said, well, let me just check it out. So we looked, and what was really surprising is that, I mean, it really would have been, I mean, we get to go to a foreign country for 9 days and see everything and have great food and accommodations, and it would have been less than going someplace in the U.S. So we decided to go to Ireland. Yeah. We didn't have to make airline flights. We didn't have to arrange our itinerary, our hotels. We just got there, and they took care of us, and it was great. It was great. They had a great itinerary and ended up traveling with just really fun group of people. The group dynamic was a blast. The group dynamic was great. It was a huge mix of young people in their 20s, older people than we were, people our own age. You know, it was so different than what we expected. You've got your tour guide and your bus driver. That turned out to be really fun. She knew everything. She knew every limerick. She knew the words to all the songs. She had great backstories. They took us everywhere. We saw way more than we would have if we had been on our own. It was easy. We could be with the tour or not with the tour. Yeah. And we learned so much more than we would have on our own. So at the end of the trip, we, after getting all of our pictures and getting everyone's email, we sat in the coffee shop across from Trinity College and recapped everything. And we have some of the best pieces from our whole trip, so you should check it out. We're so excited to go to Ireland because we're sisters in the morning and we're Irish. Hi. She saw our Globus tags. We've connected with 2 of our Globus group.
We're gonna be best friends forever.
Surprisingly, I was expecting a lot of older people and expecting all Americans, but we've had a great group: Australia, Newfoundland, Canada, America, and it was very fun. I'm having a far fancier trip than I would have done on my own.
What's the name of our hotel? Temple Gate. Right smack in the middle of town.
We just had a great breakfast.
Oh my God, it was so good.
Good evening.
Good evening, lady.
Charlie.
Charlie.
The director was very fun too, very good humored, very fun. Genius. Knows everything.
I wouldn't know any of this except that Catherine is the fountain of all knowledge. She told us everything.
We're going to go into McDonald's that Catherine, our tour director, suggested.
Known for its oysters.
So our bus driver's going to take us there.
Hey, Normie! We love him! We love Normie! I'm just glad we're not driving that road on our own.
Really
And the
fun.
history that we want.
The history of Ireland is amazing. I have kind of forgotten how old it goes back to and how much is still left to visually see.
On the left is Madden, my mother's father's family. McCormick, my mother's family. And O'Doherty, my grandfather's family.
Really, really tight with purple flower. That's your heather. It's my heather. That's my ancestry.
I definitely forgot that though.
You don't have to be circling for parking.
No.
First in line, Blarney. You know, a little eloquence goes a long way. I feel so eloquent.
So far, my favorite of the whole trip has been just sitting in the pubs, cover songs randomly wherever we happen to be.
She wheeled her wheelbarrow, trod on the marrow,
Flying cargoes and fossils alive, alive,
We are across from the Trinity College. That's true. We're having a little time off, not always on the go, go, go.
So the late night crowd on this tour is going to be Moya, Bev, and Ruth, Kate, and I. Here's our group at the bar. Oh my God! So it's not here. Let's get some tips. Where we are, crack means fun. So it's good crack. I found some good crack. Is there good crack? There's good crack. Where's the crack? It's good crack. It's all about crack. Our first friends. Was it more than you could have ever asked for?
I checked exceeded expectations on my survey.
So we hope you enjoyed that video. We're going to get back to our presentation here and go back to the basics of the trip. Again, to remind you that right this minute, this is $6,500 per person. That includes guaranteed airfare from Raleigh. As I said, I also priced out leaving from Newbern, which is an option for about $200 more per person. This price is based on double occupancy. There is, if you are in a single room, the single room supplement is $384 for the entire trip. There is an option on this trip for triples, for 3 people to a room. It is available, but there is no discount because really the company gets such great deals from Globus that for the hotels that it's really the airfare that becomes the biggest expense. This price includes all accommodations and all breakfast. It includes all taxes and fees. And of course, as we said at the top, we have to tell you it is subject to change until the time of booking. There is a $1,500 deposit required to secure your spot at this price point. There is a $1,500 deposit required by October 27th. And of course, this is trip brought to you exclusively by us. And this is Coastal Carolina Travel. There's our website. We're actually at the end of this one, you're going to be directed back to our website where there's going to be a video. There are actually 2 videos. We have posted the video you just watched. We posted the video you just watched with the sisters visiting Ireland on our website on the page about this trip. There's another video there that I hope you'll take the time to watch. It's only about 3 minutes. And this is about traveling with Globus. And so, on your own, I thought you might be interested in a little bit more information from the company about the company. So anyway, does anybody have any questions that they want to ask us? Cancellation fee. Okay, I want to explain a little bit about this. The reason that the deposit is $1,500 is that you're actually buying your airfare now at a much reduced price.
$900.
$900, yes, which is
Summer in Europe.
right, which of course will be almost twice that by next summer. Yeah. So that's the reason the deposit is as significant as it is. You're actually only paying about $250 for your land deposit, which is refundable for a lot of different reasons. Now we do strongly recommend that you get the travel protection.
Absolutely.
Which will give you a lot more options to get out. But if something happens, you have to cancel. Cheryl says it's a great question, and the answer is, with travel protection, there are absolutely ways that you get out of the trip. If you are injured, if you end up at a hospital, your house is, there's a natural disaster. I mean, anything that's significant and substantial that is covered under travel protection, which again, we strongly recommend.
And Globus is really easy to work with that. I mean, as long as it's far enough ahead, they won't. We've never had a problem with canceling.
But the difference between the reason that this, question, how can you possibly take a 9-day tour of Ireland and with airfare included, at this price point. The reason is because if you book it now, you're going ahead and buying that airfare while you can get it at a bulk rate. These companies, they buy this airfare in bulk, and so we're able to offer it to you thanks to them having the power that they have. But that comes with the reality that you have to put that money down. So certainly this trip may or may not be available in another few months, but you're going to pay a whole lot more for airfare if you wait. And we do want to say that also, that this is a very, very popular time of year to travel. This is an extremely popular, this is one of the top 10 trips that Globus offers. And so we want to stress to you that if it is something that you're interested in, we certainly would encourage you to go ahead and get that deposit in and get yourself booked by that deadline of October 27th. And so if there are no further questions, we said we were going to really try and promise to keep this to 30 minutes. We're at 7:27, so
you know you guys are busy.
Have a lot to do, and we appreciate your time.
And any other questions? It sounds like you all have been to Ireland before. What were some of your favorite places?
You'll have to email us. And also, one other thing I wanted to say before we close is there are other dates available for this trip. There is a difference between what Globus considers a guaranteed departure versus an optional, a potential departure. This trip that we've provided and offered details to you is a guaranteed departure. It's going one way or the other, no matter how many people are on it. There are certainly other guaranteed departure dates. One is about 2 weeks later, another is another 2 weeks after that. There are also some other trips that are speculating may go, but what our goal is to try to get enough people from Eastern Carolina going on this trip together, or from wherever, going together, that we might make some new friends and have fun together. So we appreciate your time very much.
Thank you so much. And please get in touch with us with any questions or comments. We'd love to hear from you.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Good night.